But what about the fact that if you'd been a Russian, you'd have been lauded almost as Sachin Tendulkar is in India? Do you sometimes ever regret the fact that chess in India doesn't quite have the status and stature that it does in Russia?
I think let's put it this way. I think if you compare chess when I started out and what it is today, then you can see the sea change that has happened. And I'm pretty proud that in some way I've contributed to that. But I think it's up to me also now to build that up from where we are. You have to build chess as a mass sport in India. That's why we are very keen to get into this, to get the Mind Champions Academy out to more and more states. We have already something like 5,000 schools. Last year, about 150,000 students took part in this competition. But you've got to build these numbers. Success just won't appear. You have to build these numbers. And potentially, we're building a huge chess fan base. I mean, the idea is also partly academic. We're introducing in schools to develop that. But the idea is you have to sort of build it up.
Let's talk a little about chess in India, because actually India is the #1 chess playing country in Asia and it has 17 grandmasters. Do Indians have a special affinity for chess?
I think so. I think if you look at our sporting performance, it's really in very, very few areas. But chess is one sport where we seem to have taken to it naturally. And at the youth level championships, I mean, nowadays we have under 12, under 14, under 16. At every level it happens.
Why have we taken to it naturally? Is it genetic, or is it some sort of special affinity like our affinity for maths and information technology?
It could be a bit of that. I mean, it's very difficult to pinpoint reasons. Could be a bit of that. Could be simply by dint of numbers. But I think when India takes to something, it really goes into it big time. And I mean, if you get huge, the numbers went up 10, 15 times in lots of school competitions from when I was playing to maybe a decade later.
So do you see a chess renaissance happening in India sometime soon?
Definitely. I think it's going forward. I think it's important to keep promoting the game and not keep on focusing on what could be. But you sort of work hard, try and popularize the game at every chance. But you have to acknowledge, chess has come a long way.
The problem actually is popularizing it, because for most people, chess seems to be a forbidding game, a cerebral game, almost an intimidating game. Is it a prisoner of its own image?
To some degree, yes. I mean, a lot of people feel intimidated by chess. But once they come into contact, they realize it's just a game like any other. You play it, you try to outfox your opponent. I think that's what you do in every sport. There isn't that much going on. And it's a fairly simple game. Of course, there's a lot of complexity hidden behind it. But it is a basically simple game. It's something people any age can pick up very easily. And in fact, that's one of the reasons kids tend to pick it up very easily.